Phillip Schofield reignites feud with arch-enemy Eamonn Holmes after saying ex-colleague threw me under a bus. It comes as Phil's friends also revealed the 3S**********, as Holly Willoughby, and his old ITV bosses Martin Frizzell and Emma Gormley. Phillip Schofield's true feelings towards his arch-enemy Eamonn Holmes have been sensationally revealed. The former ITV presenter, 62, appeared on Channel 5's Castaway and said people threw me under a bus in cryptic bombshell confessions. He was referring to his former This Morning colleague Eamonn Holmes. A defiant Eamonn hit back after the show aired and said, "I am very proud to have done it." The pair have been embroiled in a bitter rivalry since Eamonn and then-wife Ruth Langsford quit This Morning after 15 years in 2021. Holly Willoughby is also said to have her own feud with Eamonn, notably when they went on air together to interview Phil when he came out as gay in 2020. A pal said, "Phil knows Eamonn hates him and says it's because he never texted him to say he was sorry to see him leaving. He thinks Eamonn is petty and bitter, and took great delight in being involved in Phil coming out." Phil recalled how Eamonn made jokes about Phil being gay. He also told us Holly was furious with Eamonn that day because he told her that he would take over the interview if she became too emotional. Phil said he'd never seen Holly so angry. Phil also found it humorous after Eamonn's own marriage woes hit headlines after previously mocking Phil on his GB News show. Weeks after the announcement of the end of his 14-year marriage to Ruth, Eamonn's close friendship with Katie Alexander was revealed by The Sun. A friend added, "Phil heard about Eamonn having a phone-in on GB News to get people to call in if they'd had an affair with Phil. Not a single person rang in apparently." It comes as Phil's friends also revealed the 3S********, as Holly Willoughby, and his old ITV bosses Martin Frizzell and Emma Gormley. They claimed he blames Holly and their This Morning boss Martin for staging an organized coup to get him sacked after the jailing of his brother Timothy. Phil now brands Holly as the witch, who he accused directly of bringing him down. The dad of two even uses a hags emoji when message his pals about her. Phil also accused Emma, ITV's managing director of daytime, of treating him unfairly over his departure last May. A friend said, "Phil's 3S******** are Holly, Martin and Emma. He dislikes Holly so much now he calls her the witch when talking about her and sends the emoji to his mates if she comes up." Phil believes Holly, Martin and Emma were the reason he was booted from ITV and he thinks they treated him unfairly. He messaged Holly and told her, "You brought me down." He was furious and still is. The sensational revelations were kept from airing in Castaway because they were viewed as too explosive, according to his close friends. In the three-parter, Phil claimed he was sacked because of bad publicity around his brother Timothy, who was jailed for 12 years for sexual offenses involving a child. But publicly his departure played out with Phil releasing a statement saying he was stepping down after an unwise but not illegal affair with a younger runner. On Castaway Phil said, "I was fired for the bad publicity for someone else's crime." His anger is clear in messages seen by The Sun between Phil and ITV top boss Kevin Lygo following his exit. A friend said, Phil told Kevin in no uncertain terms that he believed Holly and Martin wanted him gone. He texted Kevin and told him he believed his sacking was an organized coup. One pal added, "As for Emma, Phil believes she treated him unfairly." Phil now believes that Holly started to distance herself from him for the sake of her brand. Holly has never publicly spoken about Timothy's crimes, but in messages seen after his arrest Holly spoke with Phil about him. In one, she told him of her shock and it was hard to believe. A friend said, Phil feels that he was sacked because of the bad press around his brother. Everyone knew about Tim's arrest, including Holly. They had a backstage makeup room called The Sanctuary at This Morning, where Phil first assembled trusted pals including Holly and told them, tearfully, about his brother. Holly held his hand and was super kind. But Phil feels she distanced herself from it publicly because it was bad for her brand. But she supported Phil and was disgusted by what his brother had done. The rift between them spiraled, with Phil later admitting he had lied to Holly about his affair with a colleague. Pals said Phil was hurt when Holly cut him off, especially after the help he had given her with work. They said, he feels so betrayed by Holly still. As far as he's concerned, he made her career at This Morning, and he got her the I'm a Celebrity hosting job by texting his best pal Deck and saying, Holly would be perfect for this. Once, Holly's husband Dan Baldwin even confronted him about giving Holly more airtime on This Morning, which naturally Phil did. He agreed, formally, to let her have a question and then him, even if she then missed a good follow-up. When he once broke the rule and chipped in, she rolled her eye. That bit was reported at the time as viewers noticed. In Phil's eyes, Holly repaid his kindness by knifing him. He lied to her and apologized, but she dropped him, despite everything they had been through. He'll never get over what he feels as a betrayal. Phil is still close pals with a number of big ITV names, including I'm a Celebrity host Dec. A friend said. Even people like Dr. Ranj reached out. He was desperate to assure Phil he didn't mean him when he was talking about toxicity on This Morning. He knows who his real friends are. Phil also hails his wife Steph and daughters Molly and Ruby as his rocks. A friend said. At his lowest when he left ITV, they had a bed ready for him in the psychiatric unit of a private hospital because they were so fearful he would harm himself. Castaway was watched by more than 1 million people each night, and pals claim Burning Bright Productions, who made the show, have been discussing making future documentaries with Phil. One added. It is something Phil is very open to, but he wants to take time to consider his options. Holly's team did not comment when approached by The Sun. It comes as who Phil really blames for This Morning's Q-Gate scandal was also revealed after the host clashed with ITV execs. The former TV host urged bosses it was ill-conceived, say his pals. Carrie Katona backs Eamonn Holmes over fame-obsessed Phillip Schofield TV return. I saw Eamonn Holmes talking about it on GB News and I completely agree with him. I think Phillip is obsessed with fame. I couldn't watch it without cringing. Phillip Schofield's return to the small screen has left Carrie Katona with some thoughts as she slammed his Channel 5 program and deemed him obsessed with fame. More than a year after his brutal axing from This Morning, Phillip Schofield returned to TV with a brand new show titled Phillip Schofield, Castaway, during which he notably set the record straight about his departure from ITV, claiming he had been fired after an affair with a younger member of staff. Carrie Katona was among the many viewers watching as Phillip, 62, attempted to survive on a desert island, but she was far from impressed by the show. To make matters worse, the former Atomic Kitten hitmaker confessed that she couldn't bear to watch more than 30 seconds of the program. Taking to her OK column, Carrie stated, "So, last week I said we'd all be watching Phillip Schofield's new show Castaway, but if I'm honest, I turned it off after about 30 seconds. I couldn't believe he was not only starring in the show but he also started by narrating it. Could it get any more self-centered?" She continued. I saw Eamonn Holmes talking about it on GB News and I completely agree with him. I think Phillip is obsessed with fame. I couldn't watch it without cringing. In Castaway, Schofield probes into his own controversy, musing in the show's trailer, "I've been cast away on a desert island, completely on my own. All I have is camera gear, and I can say whatever I want about whatever I want." He candidly reflects, "It's my chance to tell my side of my story." Touching on his actions, he ponders, "I know what I did was unwise, but is it enough to absolutely destroy someone?" Carrie herself as a pop star turned reality TV darling with wins on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and stints on Dancing on Ice and Loose Women. She opened up about the dark times following a controversial This Morning interview in 2008 with Phillip Schofield where she was seen slurring her words. She later clarified it was due to medication but said the event plunged her into deep depression due to a feud with Phillip and lack of aftercare from the broadcaster, both issues that have been patched up since. Shortly after making his comeback, Phillip Schofield re-emerged on social media. Posting a picture of himself on the show, looking disheveled, he captioned the post, "Brief return to X. I'm so proud of these shows. Castaway, streaming now on my 5 inches." But his announcement was met with backlash by social media users of X. One person said, "Whoever advised you to attempt a gentle comeback should be sacked." Another user wrote, "You've earned more money in your career than most of us will in our lifetimes, and with that comes responsibilities, which you abused. There's no coming back from that."